New York, CNN Business. For such a secretive company, Apple's car efforts have been in plain sight for years. The headlines have been steady: prominent auto industry poaches, one approved car patent after another, sightings of mysterious self-driving cars around its Cupertino, California headquarters, and most recently, widely reported talks of a multi-billion-dollar partnership to build an autonomous electric car with Hyundai. But this month, just as the rumor mill was reaching a fever pitch over the partnership, reports, Apple, AAPL, appeared to pump the brakes on the deal after Hyundai prematurely revealed discussions were underway, according to Bloomberg. As an internal saying goes, the fastest way to not work with Apple is to talk about working. Hyundai and Kia said this week they are not in talks with Apple to develop self-driving. Even by Apple's standards of long-rumored products, the Apple car has been longer rumored than most. Alongside the hype car apparent setbacks, in 2016, it scaled back its ambitions, followed by more layoffs a few years later. Meanwhile, automakers and tech rivals continued to move forward with their projects. And now, with its latest potential partnership appearing to unravel, there are new questions about which car makers are left for Apple to work with on the effort, if it still plans to move forward. All of it has contributed to the feeling that the Apple car is always arriving but never. Read more. A few years ago an article came out that said the project was over, said Reilly Brennan, general partner at Trucks VC, which invests in transportation. I laughed at the time because I knew at least a dozen people who were working on stuff at Apple in this sphere. It's been a constant pot on a low boil on the back of your stove that has continued to sit at that same level, Brennan added. Maybe there will be an announcement coming, but I don't know. It's been the same. It's not hard to understand why Apple would want to break into a trillion-dollar industry, but at the same time, auto development is complex. Tesla has demonstrated the appeal of a software-focused car, but it's taken years for Elon Musk's company to become profitable, and the money it does make isn't from car sales. The question has always been how Apple will try to crack this space, by building a car itself, partnering with an automaker, creating car software, or something else entirely? Sam Abuelsamid, a car industry analyst with consulting firm Guidehouse Insights, believes Apple may be more interested in mobility services, including a robo-taxi division, as it has shifted its focus in recent years to paid services to boost revenue amid a saturated smartphone market. Apple is already an investor in Chinese ridesharing giant Didi. And in 2019, Apple acquired a self-driving startup that had worked with Lyft on a robotaxi pilot project. Didi, a move somewhat reminiscent of the Apple TV when people previously speculated the company was working on a television set, but Apple instead released a small streaming box that sits alongside existing TVs. They opted not to do a TV set because margins were too low, and they couldn't create something better than what was already out there, said Abu. When Apple approached Drive.ai about a possible acquisition, the tech giant was serious about their efforts, though they were extremely tight-lipped and didn't want us to discuss or confirm anything publicly, said a former board member, who spoke to CNN Business on condition of anonymity. The former board member added that most of the Drive.ai employees that I know that are there are still working on special projects and still on the car project. Apple didn't respond to a request for comment on this story. Whichever path it pursues in the auto sector, Apple must increasingly compete not just with automakers but tech companies and startups for talent. And some companies like Zoox, a self-driving car startup acquired by Amazon, have reportedly poached auto-centric talent. Apple, for its part, has poached employees from companies like Porsche, Google's Waymo, and Tesla, including the executive who once oversaw development of its Model 3. If and when Apple does finalize its car plans, industry watchers expect the company will try to stay true to its secretive approach with other products and announce it at the last possible moment, just before it's ready to go on sale. It'd be unusual if they started acting like an automaker and teased something that's coming out in 5 years. But despite years of rumors, big hires and research and development, it's entirely possible an Apple car project might never be. I've always been skeptical that Apple would actually pull the trigger on getting into the car business, Abuelsamid said. Apple has shifted direction multiple times in the past few years around car tech, trying to figure out what and if there is anything they wanted. It spends a lot of time researching a lot of products, many of which never actually come to market.